going on there, YouTube? Today's been a big day. It's just Wednesday, but RC 4-wheel drive announced the August giveaway build, which I did. The custom Ratrod that I built earlier this year for them. Check out their Facebook and Instagram and stuff to find out how to win that. As of right now, I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it's out in the open. I've got pictures of it on Instagram and Facebook, and there'll be a video real soon if it's not out already by now. Still working on the gasser build. You can see it's over there. It's mocked up still. I don't have the front suspension under its own weight yet, and I've just kind of been mocking up the new Cyanide Speed Shop high-rise tunnel ram intake for it. I'm not sure yet about the headers and stuff, but yeah, still got a little ways to go on that. And I've also started the ramp truck build, the Nightcrawler's 3D Apache body. You can see the front end here with the hood, and the long 3D printed flatbed to haul my rat rods around. And I've got this big old box. This is from my friend Wes Braswell. He's on YouTube as EPA Crawlers, and his channel is more than just crawling competition and stuff. He is very skilled with the styrene, and we talked about doing a build together. So we kind of worked up some ideas, and he just went to town on it. And at first it was just going to be, he was going to make a body for me, and then I would build the frame and stuff, and he went a little further than that even. So I got the package in today, so let's take a look, see what we got. Alright guys, I had to stop filming for a minute and look at this thing. It's pretty impressive. So we were running through some ideas originally, and he was thinking like a cab over or something like that. And I'm really not a fan of the cab overs. I know it had been a very challenging build for him, but it just wasn't really my cup of tea. I don't like those things for some reason, but we started talking, and I told him about that I work for Peterbilt, and I work in the factory building them. And we started toying around with the idea of building a Peterbilt Ratrod, which there's some around. If you YouTube search Pissed Off Pete, there's one. It's got some 12-cylinder diesel engine, I think. It's got some wild thing in it. There's a few of them around. So actual 18-wheeler rat rods is kind of a thing. And yeah, so we kind of ran with that. This is a chopped 379 style day cab, and the details are insane. So let's go over it inch by inch here. All right, so up front, we've got a custom-made grill with mesh installed. It is not metal. It's a very nice satin, chrome, stainless-looking finish, but that is styrene. Custom headlight mounts, which are flawless. And then we've got some like axial headlights, so we actually have a nice lens for it. It looks nice and scale. We're kind of going with the like I did on the RC 4-wheel drive build for the front suspension, kind of having a upwards mount like that for the shocks. And it's going to be axle way out front, suicide style. And yeah, this is one of the most impressive things to me is the firewall. It's very accurate replica of these trucks. It's got all the little doodads and whistles, even down to all the rivets, because these things are made with pop rivets. The cabs are all aluminum, which is going to make weathering it interesting, because I don't have a clue what kind of look I want to go for, but it can't be pretty and shiny, obviously, because it's kind of a rat rod. So yeah, but that firewall is super detailed, even down to the recessed windshield wiper box here, and I have a wiper motor to mount in there. All the little details, man, it's just insane. This side, we've got nice hinge, we've got all the rivets, we've got a door panel made into it, a door handle, sorry. Even like the seams where the cab pieces are is accurate. We've got a little step on this side because, you know, 18-wheeler's got to have a step. Out back we've got a true to scale semi-truck this size fuel tank. And I wanted to touch on one thing. You know that to me a king hauler and grand hauler and stuff, those are 1/14 scale. So we did measuring and trying to fit this with the other rat rods. So it's more accurately a 10th scale rig. It would look cool to do one of my rat rods with a king hauler frame or a body, and it would just fit right on it, and the proportions and stuff would look perfect. But it won't look right with all the other trucks, because even though these 379 cabs are kind of small in comparison to like a full-size pickup, they are still big compared to a Model A truck cab per se, like number 2 back there. And so yeah, we're trying to size it right based off of my other rat rods, so they all look good together. Suspension, we've got a triangulated 4-link with a horizontal leaf spring, and it's pretty well done. The chassis is brazed, and it's like mandrel bent. He's cut it, spliced it, and brazed it all back together, and it looks fantastic. And we'll get to the bottom here in a minute. This fuel tank is the battery holder. I haven't figured out how to take the cap off yet, but this end does come off, and you can get a pretty good sized lipo in there. He sent me some pictures of it test fitted. This side you can see the other end of the tank. This end is not open. It's got a little filler cap. It's a little dusty from packing material. And we've got our stack, because like Wes said, you can't have a semi-truck without a stack. I originally wanted to do something with a scale diesel engine and have just the stack come out the top, but he did this, and I told him kind of what we had with the turbo on the scale engine, and he actually made it where it'll work, and I can tie this in directly to the turbo. I think I need one more little piece of pipe, and then I've got another elbow here to connect this to the turbo. So we're gonna have a true looking exhaust system with a stack. Yeah, the finish on this stuff is fantastic. I think the elbows are metal. I don't know where those came from, but they are really nice. And yeah, I'm not sure if the stack is styrene or plastic or metal or what. But again, we've got the nice door details, all the rivets. We've got the panel gaps just like they're supposed to be, and the hinge, the whole 9 yards. Coming around up front, the split windshield. The windshield and the back windows, or the back window, he has provided plastic for. So we have clear windows, and there's recess on the inside of all of these. It's just perfectly crafted. So the window can glue into this edge and not protrude out on the inside, not have hot glue, nothing ugly. Because of the interior. This is designed to have a full interior and hide all the electronics as well. You can see the dash there, all the little knobs, all the little bells and whistles. We still got to come up with a steering wheel of some kind, but yeah, it's got a sunroof, but not just any sunroof. We have a sliding rag top. we talked about that. It was kind of he came up with it and was talking about the interior, and I was like, well, yeah, but you're not really gonna be able to see it unless you had a sunroof or something. And he was like, well, what if I do? And there we are. So we've got a sliding rag top. I'm not sure yet how that's gonna attach, but I always love these rag tops. I was in the lowered bag truck scene back in the day, and you know, you can get a crew cab with a rag top over, and it was just always seemed cool. So I like the look of that. This thing is big. It's kind of tall. It is chopped. We talked a lot about the roof height, trying to find a happy medium where we can still work with the interior. And that's another thing I wanted to bring. Made it with just enough space that I can finally use my Awesome Designs bomber style seats that I've had weathered and had cushions on and everything for a while, and I just haven't had the right build to use them on. And here we go. We got a nice roomy interior. So all I've got to do on the interior, oh, also, I didn't even know he was doing this. He made door panels. So we got door cards as well to detail. So all I've got to do on the interior is a little bit of paint, some kind of awesome, gigantic gear shifter, because it is a semi-truck, and a steering wheel, and detail all those little knobs and things on the dash. But yeah, this thing is next level. This is the kind of styrene work that has always inspired me. That's what got me into building from scratch, even though I don't do the bodies like that. But it's kind of, you know, it just sparks your creativity and really gets you get your mind going. Now, the first thing I thought of when I opened it and looked at the chassis is how I can lower the body a little bit, because it is a little tall, and I'm not sure what kind of tire I can put on this to make it look right. It's obviously got to have duals, but I'm gonna need a big tire to really look right, because I've got like the number 2 back there is a dually, and those are 1.7s and semi tires, and they look like a 16.5 dually tire like you would find on a 1-ton pickup. So with this, a semi truck would have 22.5s and a lot bigger tire. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. We might have to get really creative and see if we can't get some 2.2 dually wheels, maybe? I don't know. We'll have to do some lots of measuring and stuff like that, see what we can come up with. But let's look at the bottom. The chassis is beautifully done. The brazing work on it is phenomenal. I'm envious because I never was that good at brazing. But the step, the notch, the bends and stuff are just excellent. We've got, looks like a Delrin skid plate and some kind of small transmission. I am not familiar with that model. I don't know what it's off of. It looks kind of like an RC 4-wheel drive old disruptor transfer case, but not for certain. It's a little bit different. But yeah, it's nice and low. I have about a finger's width between the floorboard and the top of the transmission, and the transmission is about as big around as a motor. So yeah, the body looks like it mounts here on the sides. I think I can take these brackets here and mount them on the other side of the frame, and that should get us a little bit lower. The body has the room to go down like that. So yeah, not sure how it all comes apart yet. It's going to take some gentle exploration here. I don't want to mess up anything in the body. I need to get the body off while I'm messing with the frame so I don't damage anything. But yeah. So let me show you the engine that we built around. Or this is built to fit this engine. So this is another one like on the number 2. It's a different variation. I couldn't tell you what it is. It looks similar to a 12 valve. It's very blue, very clean. Needs some dirt and muck on it. These, you can find them on eBay from time to time. There are I think I got this for like $70 shipped. A little pricey. It took it about a month to get here, but they are pretty awesome. Now you can't put a motor in it. Obviously, it's a die-cast engine, so it's hollow, but there's things inside and stuff like that. The flywheel actually turns with the fan, and it turns the belts and the drive and everything. Not motorized. It could be, maybe, but that's not for to think about right now. That's a project for another time. But it looks like it's going to fit perfect. I still have these mounts. It comes in a display case. The back ones remove with a screw. The front ones not so easily. They usually end up getting broken off, and we'll have to either weld or maybe braze. My torch died on me. I don't know what happened to it, so probably just weld on some motor mounts. But we've already got a cross member right here in the perfect spot, and yeah, it fits like a glove. We talked measurements and stuff, and he's very precise with his work. That motor looks small in this thing. It's crazy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna play with this a minute. Start getting some tires and wheels around and seeing what things look like. Better look at the chassis. You can see the motor mount. It's nice and solid. We've got nice Delrin pieces. The body mounts, I may have to trim that little edge off right there. and then I'm going to bolt them on the bottom of the bracket that's braced to the frame. The body actually just slides snugly over these aluminum pieces here and stays nice and firm. There's one screw that goes into the stack, into the corner of the cab, one little tiny scale bolt, and yeah, this kind of locks it all into place. I probably will have to re-drill that in either the cab or the stack. I'd probably rather drill the stack. But yeah, I just want to lower it down a little bit. It's just so tall, and I think that's going to make the proportions perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I can't wait. I was just going to show you this thing in this video, but it's pretty exciting. This thing is just pretty phenomenal. You look at all that space in here. Let me zoom you out. Oh, I can't. So look at all this space underneath the body. We're able to hide the electronics. We're able to hide the motor. It's all very well thought out, very well executed. That firewall is just phenomenal. Even the inside of the roof is finished. It's not like that's just a box there. It's flat all the way around. Just very, very detailed stuff, man. I like it. So I'm going to play some more here, and we'll get a good mock-up here at the end to see kind of what tires and stuff look like on it. Alright guys, so I was playing with some different mock-ups. I got a front axle, a drop axle. I've got to flip everything around on it. The steering link and stuff is all in the wrong spot, and the radius arms are too short. Not sure about the ride height. I did flip the body mounts, and I still have half an inch almost. So I think I can add some spacers and some longer bolts. The mounts off of the frame are even threaded. That's how detailed that Wes is with his builds. So it's easy to take the mounts on and off. So I think I can throw a 5mm spacer in there or something to get the body on the ground right now with the chassis. The rear suspension, the lower mount hangs down a little below the chassis, and it's just a recycled RC four-wheel drive 4-link piece off of the axle. So I'm going to look at that, see if I can't flip that the other direction as well, so it'll set flat on the frame rails, and then we can drop the body down flush with that. Then we can build our suspension up from there. That's how I like to do it. I want everything on the ground, nice and low, and then we'll play with the suspension and get a little bit of lift, because, you know, this thing is massive. Even those giant slicks don't look very big on here. I put some dual mudslingers back there. They look a little silly. I don't know what I'm going to do for tires and wheels yet. That's probably going to be the most challenging part of this build because of the scale of it. So if you've seen any 1.9 semi-truck wheels or something along that line, give me a shout in the comments and point me in a direction, because we're going to need something a little bigger. I think at least I need something as tall that's as those slicks on the front, but not as wide, and I need something even taller and maybe a hair wider on the back. So yeah, be sure to check out Wes's channel, EPA Crawlers. He's got tons of builds. He sent me an email, and I went to his channel, and I spent like 4 days just watching his builds. He does kind of like I do. He does step by step, shows the whole process of his bodies that he makes. And it's very good resource if you're looking to get into building from scratch like that with styrene. As you can see a lot of the methods, see the kind of glues and the different materials that you can use for different shapes, and the tools and everything that's involved in crafting out of plastic. It is not as hard as you think. The first time I started making stuff from styrene, it was intimidating. It was more than anything. You're intimidated by it because there's so much detail and so much stuff you want to do, but it's that level of, I don't want to say OCD, but that level of precision that you go after that makes you better and better every time you do something. And from the looks of this, Wes has been doing this for a very long time. So yeah, please check out his channel. You can find him on Instagram and Facebook as well. #WesMade. And there'll be a link in the video description And the coolest part, I forgot to even mention, he's got videos of building this body. So about the time this video comes out, he'll have a first video, I think he said there's 11 in the series of him building this cab and this frame. So you get to see both ends of it. You get to see him crafting the body and me making it into a functional car. So that's going to be cool. It's something different. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And stay tuned for more to come. And be sure to check out EPA crawlers to see the body being made. So as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Follow on Instagram and Facebook, RCeveryday. Keep it scale. I'll see you all in the next video.